Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Keep It Simple, and today I'm going to show you how to find the protons, neutrons, and electrons using only your periodic table. So let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to find the atomic mass and atomic number before we learn how to find the protons and neutrons. So there's a difference between the atomic mass and the atomic number. So what is the difference? Well, the atomic mass is the weight of one atom in a particular element. So if I were to take boron for an example, I would say that the weight of boron is equal to the weight of one atom in boron. Now, what is atomic number? Atomic number is the number of protons in an element, so the atomic number is the same as the number of protons. So where are they located? Atomic mass is located at the bottom of an element, which we'll do an example of later. And the atomic number located at the top is the same number as the proton, which we'll also do an example of later. Now we have Kr krypton as an example. So to find the number of protons, we said that they're the same as the atomic number, which we know is located at the top. So we have 36 as the atomic number, so the number of protons is going to be 36 for krypton. Okay. Now let's talk about neutrons and where we find them on the periodic table. So neutrons are not on the periodic table itself like protons, so we use a formula to find them. So what is the formula for neutrons? Well, it's atomic mass minus protons. The reason why I highlighted mass is because there's number, atomic number, and atomic mass, which are easy to get confused from. So atomic mass minus protons. So let's take Ca, calcium, as an example. So here it is. So for the atomic mass, which is located at the bottom, so this would be the atomic mass, 40. Then the protons, which would be on the top as the same number as the atomic number, would be 20. So you do atomic mass minus the protons. So you do 40 minus 20, which would equal 20 neutrons. So let's check if that is correct. So for the atomic mass, we know that calcium has 40 as its atomic mass. Then for protons, we know it has 20 by looking at the top. And then we would do 40 minus 20, which would equal 20 neutrons, which is correct. Now, let's talk about the electrons. Let's talk about the electrons and how to find them. So, electrons are also found by using a formula because you cannot see them on the periodic table. So the formula for electrons would be protons minus charge. So how do we find charge? Trick, label your periodic table like this. So here's a periodic table of elements. So you would label this like this. +1, +2. All of this here is going to be the transition metals, which means that it doesn't have a charge. So if they were to ask you, well, what are the number of electrons, they would give you the charge. For 3A, it would be +3. 4A, there wouldn't be one, so the same thing. They would probably just give you the charge when they ask you for the electrons for 4A and noble gases and transition metals. 5A would be -3. 6A -2, 7A -1, and 8A are also the noble gases. Now let's see how many electrons Na sodium has. So for the formula for electrons, we know it's the protons minus the charge. And for the charge in the first row, because Na sodium is in row 1, we said it's +1. So if we were to find the electrons, we would do protons minus charge. So the protons, looking at the top, we know it's 11 protons. Then the charge we said was +1. So you had to do protons minus the charge, which you would do 11 minus 1, which would be 10. So that means sodium has 10 electrons.